In this video, I'm going to be doing the idea behind the heyFinance. I did a lecture style initially, but I want to do this style on the like using the dashboard itself, right? So this is the website where it says one dashboard, total financial clarity, track your goals, understand your spending, and see your complete financial picture in one place, right? So what does this mean? This is the main application, and I'm using the desktop version. You can also use it on your mobile phone. It's not on the app store right now, but once you like log in on your mobile phone, you can install it as an app on your phone, right? There's a video on our Instagram page on how you can do that, but on your iOS you just click on the share button, add to home screen. On Android you just install it on your device, right? No, so I'm just going to be explaining the idea behind the finance, but from the dashboard. And I'm going to start from the core pillar, which is the transactions, right? So right now, if you are based in Germany and Nigeria, we are currently working on being able to link it automatically to your account. But right now, you need to import transactions. Either you log it manually or you just import it via CSV. But once the transactions are in, the first part is basically the transactions linking to everything. So if I click on this, you see the different options: update category, link to budgets, update vendor, link to debts, link to receivable, and the rest. Your transaction links to your category, so that's to understand how you spend your money. You can link it to your budget to see how you're progressing. Or I mentioned it also, like this is going to be renamed to obligations and expected money. So obligations like rent that is due, or like school fees, or expected money like maybe a bonus and the rest. So your transaction is what links to everything, right? So, but for the other parts, is so from the beginning, is adding your accounts. That is how this works. Like I said, right now it's not automatically linked, so you can add your accounts. Afterwards you can add like your financial goals, right? And once you add your financial goals, we tell you how much you need to save every month, and these goals are linked to your account. So you see this emergency savings is showing that I've saved 5,000 out of 8,000, right? And the balance is 3,000. So as you update it, you can see the progress, and this is linked to my Revolut account, which shows that I have 5,000 saved. If I update this, right, so I can also just edit linked account, and this is linked to my Revolut. If I let me just move this aside, I can update this to 6,000, and if I update, so it's creating new snapshots, right? That on the 25th of November, this is how much I had saved, right? And now if I go back to the account, this is also going to be reflected, right? So you see which part of your account. So this is very powerful if you are saving for some goals in your accounts, and now you can see your actual balance because 9,000 has been allocated to different goals. So this is the actual balance, or the actual spendable balance that you have. So that is the first part. The second part where I touched a little bit is like debts, which I said will be renamed to obligations. So this is like a wedding gift that I promised Charles, but this can also be, like I said, your rent, or you're saving for school fees. Receivable also, like money that you are expecting to come in. And why these two are really powerful is if I go to the overview page, you have like a snapshot of your net worth. So this is like how much you have, which is basically total money in your account minus your debts plus money that you are expecting, right? Yeah, so that is why that is very, very powerful. And I still need to think of a better place to put this, but you can also like track your net worth on the reports page. So on the first of every month, this is going to create a new snapshot, but I can also like just create one like manually if I just want to like record what I have right now. But you see there was no difference. But if things have happened over the course of the months, on the first of every month, a new snapshot is going to be created just so you can see your net worth growth over time, right? And now going back to, I think we touched on tracking your goals already, seeing the complete picture with your net worth, the final parts or the final two parts, which will be like the budget. So if I click on create new budget, your budget can be flexible. So it can be like a monthly budget, but it can also be very very flexible. And yeah, this is just pretty straightforward. If I go to transactions, I already kind of showed this where you saw that the transactions you could add category, and even very powerful because like I said it's not automatically linked. You could like search and update so many transactions at once. So let's assume this employer was not categorized. I can just search for employer and I can select all the employer transactions and update everything as income. But why this is very important is for the reports page. So even before you create a budget and link to budget, just based on the categories, you already kind of have an idea of how much you spend on different categories, right? And I also mentioned it in the idea. What is going to be better because this is just like a dummy account, so this is not really like real data. But generally, you want your transaction categories to be as small as possible. So, for example, housing will not be housing; it will be like rent. If you have like water bill or electricity, so instead of utilities, for example, this can be water bill, internet, electricity, and the rest. But when you have a budget for the month, what you can now do is you can have housing. So you see how this works. So you have housing and you can link it to, so if I just click on this, you can link it to rent, electricity bill, internet bill, water bill, right? And once I link any transaction, so I'm just going to show you. So we have housing, you see it's linked to these different categories. If I go to the transactions page, I'm just going to select one and just link it and call this rent, right? And I'm going to link this transaction to that budget, right? So yeah, I've done it. So if I go to the budget now, you can see under rent, under housing, that it shows that I've actually spent this amount of money. If I click on this is to add, but at the same time, it also shows you the transactions under that budget. So you see this transaction is under housing, right? So yeah, I think basically these are like the most important things for a finance and the idea. Just this is how everything works together. So accounts, goals, your budgets, your transactions, linking everything. Because similar to the way I linked that transaction to the budget, I can as well link this transaction to a debt. So like I wanted to pay Charles wedding gifts, blah blah blah. I can also, which is very weird to do, but just to clarify this, so you see telecom, I can decide to link this to that debt, right? Because yeah, I made that payment, and if I go to Charles wedding gifts, you see this has been linked to the debt. The debt has been updated automatically, right? The other things that are powerful is you have the AI reports. This basically you generate it every month. It looks at your goals, it looks at how you've spent, and it gives you like a report on okay, these are the things that happened, some recommendations based on your goal. This is still in beta phase, so we're still like looking to improve this like very much. But so far, this is already like kind of good. And finally, you can also invite your partner, right? So you can be in different organizations. So this is like an example. So for me, I use this to like not just for my family, but also for my business, right? So you can switch to different organizations. You want to have different accounts, but this is not really relevant for most people. But for a family or for a team, if you're using this as a small business, you can also invite your partner or your team member, right? And right now they have access to everything. With time, we're also going to improve this and make it even more like customizable with some rules. But yeah, this is basically all a finance is about right now. And yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, bye.